The first thing I wanted to cover today is just something that I like to explain to people, and that's how to answer objections. Excuse me, objections. Um, yeah, a lot of people sometimes get a little caught up with objections, and they don't exactly know how to best respond. Well, the truth is there's no like perfect way to respond to objections, but if you answer with feel felt found, then it usually makes you much more relatable. Okay. And usually people, tend to kind of stop being so much on the defense when you react this way to an objection. Okay. And then there is a good chance that people will open up. Okay. This is like, I don't know, psychology, I guess, but it works. It definitely works. So this is something that I have definitely used many times when people um have objections, like any and it could be anything. Like if somebody says, oh, yeah, I saw the video and I saw the information, but honestly I don't have time. That's an objection. That's a common one, right? I don't have time. Well, you could easily just say, well, you're wrong, and this doesn't require for you to have all this time, and you should try it. There's so many ways you can answer an objection like that, but usually people don't respond well to conflict, right? So you have to become much more relatable so that people can open up, right? And this formula works really, really well. It's called feel felt found. So the way you're going to answer any objection is by telling the person, hey, I know exactly how you feel. That's the first part, right? Hey, I know exactly how you feel. The minute you say that to somebody, it's almost like they let their guard down, and they're much more open to hearing what you have to say next, instead of just kind of shutting down and saying, already being, kind of straight in their ways, right? So the next time somebody gives you an objection, try that. Immediately just say, hey, I know how you feel. And then the second part would be, I felt exactly the same way, which makes you even more relatable, right? Because now they're like, wow, this person's agreeing with me, right? And then the third part of that would be, but I found, and then you kind of finish it with whatever you want to, you know, whatever you want to say to answer the objection. So an example would be like, let's say, if Charles, you tell me, hey, I don't have time for this. I mean, it sounds good, but I don't have the time for it. I would answer, well, Charles, I understand how you feel because I felt exactly the same way. But what I found is that if I just work consistently, just like anywhere from 2 to 5 hours a week, that's really the key to getting really excellent long-term results. And that's all I put into it. Sometimes I have 2 hours a week, sometimes I have a little bit more, but because I'm being consistent, I'm able to start, bringing in people. And that would be, something that would have the other person just kind of stop and think like, oh, maybe I do have time for this, that kind of thing. But if you phrase it in this way, it's going to help tremendously to have the person just, stop being, you know, defensive and, just having, their guard be let down. So this works with any objection, anything. It could be like, I'd love to get involved, but I just don't have the money. Okay. And then again, immediately your reflex response needs to be, hey, I understand how you feel. I actually felt the same way. And then finish it off with, but I found. So, you can answer it any which way you feel, because, it's going to be your authentic answer. But if you just introduce your answer in this way, in this formula, it's just going to be so much more effective. So let's say Iboya tells me, oh, I don't have the money right now. And, of course, this is an example because obviously Iboya does have the money. She already enrolled, right? But let's say she says, oh, I don't have the money right now. I could say, well, Iboya, I understand how you feel. I actually felt exactly the same way. But what I found is that I needed to figure out a way to come up with the money, because if I didn't do something to change my situation, I was always going to be in this same situation of not having enough money. So I found a way to, to make the money for my first purchase. I found a way to borrow the money. Whatever you want to answer, but it's going to be, it doesn't even really matter what the answer is. It's just as long as you frame it in this way. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way, and I found, because now you're coming from an authentic place. You directly are having this experience. You've had this experience, so you have found. What have you found? What have you discovered? What has helped you to answer this objection for yourself? And you're just going to share it with the other person. It could be anything. I could say, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way, but I found that if I register for the $25 membership fee, it allows me to have a website, and I can actually start promoting this business until I make my product purchase. Whatever you want to say is fine. Whatever you want to say is fine. As long as you frame it in this way, it's going to just be giving that person a chance to understand that they're not going through this alone, that you've actually gone through the same thing, and that you have a solution for them because you found a solution yourself. Okay, so hopefully everybody is understanding this concept. It really does work. Does anybody have any questions regarding this feel felt found method, so to speak, to answering objectives? Okay, remember, these trainings are going to be always interactive, so keep that in mind. I'm always going to ask you questions, and have you participate as a group. So just be prepared for when we get in when we get online on Thursdays. That's exactly what I'm going to ask everybody to do, to give feedback and participate. All right. So if nobody has any questions regarding this, we'll move on to our next topic. And I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everybody has the ability to unmute themselves. So feel free to unmute yourself whenever you want to ask a question. Okay. Also, I also wanted to cover this part of our business, and it's making the three-way calls. Now, nowadays, we have wonderful technology. I remember back in the old days when we used to do network marketing, we didn't have, we didn't have Zoom, and we didn't have WhatsApp or Telegram or any of those, messaging apps. Now things are very different. So back then, when we first started and we did things old school, we used to rely on three-way calls. And now we can still do three-way calls, but now it's even better because we can do three-way video chats, right? It's even more effective now. But the concept is still very much the same. It's still very much the same. You see, what the three-way call does for anyone is it just adds that third-party credibility, which is so important. It's so incredibly important, because it's interesting when people are very close to you, like your siblings, for example, family members, your really close friends, the people that are closest to you. It's been said that these are the hardest people to convince when you're involved with a network marketing opportunity. And the reason that they're hard to convince is because basically they're very close to you, so they know exactly what you've gone through. They may know that this might be your fourth network marketing company. They might know that, right? They might say, well, how is this going to be any different than all those other things you talked to me about in the past, right? They may know that you're trying to come across as this entrepreneur, but they know you so well, that they don't see you as that. They see you as their little brother or little sister or their mom, or someone who they just don't see it that way, right? So it's a little hard. It's a little hard when you have people that are very close to you, to convince them, and that's when you're going to need that third party credibility. You're going to have to introduce them to somebody else who they don't know that well, but you've edified. You've edified them in such a way that the person is going to want to listen to them, because they know that you're introducing them to someone who has experience, someone who has knowledge, someone who is important, in other words, someone that should be listened to, right? So what you're doing is you're creating the scenario where you are going to introduce your prospect to what we call, in quotes, an expert, right? And I do want to point out that there is no trust between the prospect and the expert. The trust is all between you and your prospect, right? Because you know them well and they know you well. So there's still no trust between the prospect and the expert. Okay. But then what you're going to do through the process of edification, you're going to edify this expert. You're going to talk to the prospect about your expert. Okay. And the expert could be me, it could be anybody who's above you, right? You're going to edify that person, and you're going to talk really well about them, and you're going to build them up in a way, right? So that this way, now your prospect will create a respect for the expert. They're going to want to listen to them. Okay. They're going to want to just be attentive, right? They're not going to be like rude, in other words, they're not going to like just blow them off, right? They're going to want to, you know, pay attention, right? So the way we do that, the way we create respect between your prospect and the expert is by edification. Okay. And edification is really not that complicated as it sounds. As a matter of fact, if you follow some simple guidelines, you're going to find that it's quite easy and quite fun. Okay, because you only have to remember a certain keywords, just like we just covered a minute ago. We just talked about the feel, felt, found method, right? Well, when it comes to edification, it's also about just following a few keywords. That's all you need to know. So these are the things that you want to mention, okay, when you're edifying anybody. Okay, it could be your upline sponsor, it could be the person above them. Okay, anybody that you want to use as a third party credibility, you're going to want to edify, right? So these are the things that you should mention. And as you can see, they're very short, simple phrases. You're gonna mention that your expert is having success. You're also going to mention that your expert is helping people. You're going to mention that your expert is fun to be around. And you're going to mention that your expert is very informed. Now, that can be said in one sentence, in one breath. So that's how simple it is to edify anyone. Okay, so for example, let's say that Yusuf is my sponsor, right? And Katrina is my prospect. And Katrina and I maybe go way back, right? We've been friends for a long time. So Katrina knows that this is my 10th network marketing company. She knows that, oh my God, here we go again. He's gonna try to get me involved in something new. Why is this any different? The last 9 that he did never worked, right? So I can't do it on my own. I need a little bit of help. So I'm gonna edify Yusuf so that Katrina can pay attention to Yusuf, not me. I'm going to take the focus away from me and all my I guess, failures and all my disappointments, whatever I've gone through in the past. I'm going to take the focus away from that, and I'm going to put the focus on Yusuf. So I'm gonna call up Katrina and be like, "Hey, Katrina, I really would like you to meet one of the people that is in my support team, and his name is." And I'm going to use Mr. because that sounds a little bit more important, right? I'm going to say Mr. Yusuf Muhammad, right? So just to let you know, Mr. Yusuf, he's someone who's really seeing success in this business, and he's helping a lot of people, and he's really fun to be around. You're gonna like him. And edify somebody correctly. Okay, so hopefully Katrina is going to be a little bit just more open to hearing what Yusuf has to say, because I just mentioned that Yusuf is having success, he's helping people, he's fun to be around, and he's very well informed. Now, I happen to know Katrina better than anybody because she's my prospect, right? And I happen to know that Katrina is a certain type of personality. Okay. Now, Katrina could be one of the four. Okay. Now, usually people are a mix of these, right? So it's not like pure, but usually you tend to be, you lean more towards one of these four. Either you're a business minded person, a no nonsense business minded person, or you're a humanitarian person, or some people use colors, right, to describe people's personalities, and I like to use sea creatures, right? It's just more fun. So if you're a business minded person, you're a shark. Have you ever seen that TV program? I don't know if it's available all over the world, but they call it Shark Tank, right? It's a business program that started here in the U.S. I'm sure it's in other countries, but yeah, those are the sharks, right? The people that are the real business-minded, no nonsense entrepreneurs. So if I know that Katrina's a shark, if I know that she's just no nonsense, she wants to learn about, can she make money with this? If I can't, don't waste my time, that kind of attitude. If I know she's like that, then when I edify Mr. Yusuf, when I edify him, I'm gonna mention the four characteristics. I'm gonna say that, he's having success, he's helping people, he's fun to be around, and that he's very informative. But I'm gonna put a little bit more emphasis on the success part, because I know that that's what Katrina, my shark, I know that that's what she's gonna like to hear, right? So yeah, I'm gonna mention all four things, but I'm gonna put just a little bit more emphasis on the success. I'm gonna start talking about, yeah, Yusuf, he's the one that was able to bring me on board and other people on board, and he has a lot of experience. He's made money in this industry. He really knows what he's talking about. He's connected to the right people. He has a great relationship with the owners of the company, that kind of thing, right? So I'm gonna really stress the success part, because I don't think Katrina's gonna want to waste her time with anybody who's not successful. You see what I'm saying? Because she's a shark. So, when you know your prospect well, you know exactly how to best edify the person you're going to introduce them to. Got it? But let's say Katrina is not a shark at all. She's very different. Let's say that she's a whale. The whales are the humanitarian peoples, right? These are the people that are not really motivated by money. They're more like, what can I do to help people and help change the world, right? So if I know Katrina's not a shark, if I know that she's a whale, then I'm not going to talk about all the money Mr. Yusuf has made in the past and how successful he is, because that's not going to be interesting to her. I'm going to talk about how he's helping all these people. So my emphasis is going to be, of course, I'm going to mention all four things, but I'm going to put a little bit more emphasis on the fact that Mr. Youssef is helping people, right? So that's how I'm going to edify Mr. Youssef. I'm going to be like, Katrina, you've got to meet Mr. Youssef. He's just remarkable the way he helps people, the way he's really working to really, just change people's lives with this product, and he's so determined to really, just help people, and that's what he's about. You really have to meet him, and she probably will want to meet him because she can relate, and she'll listen to what Mr. Youssef has to say to her, right? But what if Katrina's not a whale or a shark? Or maybe she is a little bit of that, but she's mostly a dolphin. That's really her main personality. She's just a social butterfly. She likes to have fun. As a matter of fact, too much business talk kind of bores her because she's all about having fun. And if she's not having fun, she doesn't want to know anything about it. Right. So again, I'm going to mention all four things about Mr. Youssef. I'm going to say that he's having success and that he's helping people, but I'm going to put a little bit more emphasis on the fact that he's really fun to be around. Oh, you're going to love Mr. Youssef. He's such a nice person, very easy to talk to, always making me laugh, and we're always having a good time in this business, and usually the people that are dolphins, when you invite them to a meeting, whether it be like a live meeting in an actual physical place, or something like we're doing now in a Zoom meeting, you don't want to tell them that you're inviting them to a business meeting. You want to tell them that you're inviting them to a social gathering, right? Just make it sound fun, right? Make it sound like something that the person is going to want to participate in, because she's a dolphin, right? But let's say Katrina is not really mainly any of these three. She's more of the analytical type, right? We call that being an urchin. And I have come across quite a few of these analytical types. They are the people that are the hardest to convince, to be honest, because they want always so much information and they're always asking a lot of questions. And it takes them, they want to have their questions answered before they make any decision. So a lot of doctors are like this, scientists, people that are in that field, that they just want the facts, and they really, they don't want to waste time with hype. They just want, concrete facts. So these people, you're definitely going to want to talk about your expert as being well informed. Okay, you can mention the other three things. They're perfectly good things to mention, but you're going to stress the fact that this is the person that has all the information. And as a matter of fact, you can actually even say to your prospect, let's say my prospect Katrina is an urchin, right? I'm going to say to her, Katrina, listen, this is a great opportunity, but I got to be honest with you. I just got started. I'm not the one that has all the information. I want you to talk to Mr. Youssef. He's the expert. He has all the information. He's been doing this for a while now, and he's very well connected with the owners, and he's the one that's the true expert. You're going to want to ask all your questions to Mr. Youssef. So that's going to be good for Katrina, because she's going to be like, okay, well, great. I didn't want to waste my time with anybody who doesn't have answers. So introduce me to Mr. Youssef, right? So this is how you edify. This is the way to do it, right? And then the expert's job, when they do get on the three-way call or the three-way video chat that we've arranged, right? The expert's job is basically not to explain the whole thing over the phone or over the video chat. It's basically just to give them a little bit of insight on what we're doing, and help you to invite them to the actual presentation. you know Now, that we're having actual full opportunity presentations on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So those are the days you definitely want to invite your guests. Okay, today we're doing a training for the people that are already signed up, which is great, because we have to learn what to do. But the Wednesdays and Saturdays are the moments we want to invite new people. And you know what? As a way to prep up your guests, we can do this. We can do like three-way calls, video chats, right? Just to have your person be introduced to me, or any other person who's above you in the organization. And for most of you, I'm your sponsor, so feel free to use me as your expert. And that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give them the entire information, unless, of course, they can't make it on a Wednesday or a Saturday. If it's impossible for them, then yeah, maybe we will set up a private presentation where I'll give them the full presentation. Okay, that's okay. I can do that. But if they can make it next Saturday, what I'm going to basically do is just give them a little bit of information. Kind of give them that assurance that they're on the right track, that they're really connecting to something very special. And I'm gonna invite them, as well as you've already invited them perhaps, but I'm gonna invite them as well. Give them a second invitation to be our guest on Saturday or on Wednesday, so that they can really learn everything and get the full picture and get the details that they're going to need in order for them to really see if this is a good fit for them. Okay. So that's going to be the expert's job, basically, to help you invite, to help you confirm that they're going to be present and attentive when we give that full, presentation, which I'm trying to cut down because I know it's a little long. I've got it down to about 50 minutes. I'd like to get it down to about 40 minutes, to be honest. But, I've been having to practice, getting it a little shorter. But that's basically what we want people to really see, is the full presentation, so that they get the full picture. They understand all the details of the product. They understand all the details of how, the business works, and they get a general understanding of our comp plan, and that's enough to really be able to make a decision. Okay. So this works. It's always worked, and it's something that I would love to be able to do more often with all of you, because it's something that definitely works. So hopefully we'll be able to do more of this. And I'd like to ask, does anybody have any specific questions on what we just covered?
Good evening, sir. I think this is a very positive and very respectable way to talk to prospect and prospect to share with expert respect way. This is really wonderful, very wonderful. I never seen this kind of how to invite experts. This is the best way. Will help a lot our team and me. I like it. I like it very much, and I get more confidence when I talk to my prospect. And because I'm a newly in business, so I can right away say, if I want to introduce to my expert, is you have more questions. The way you mentioned shark, whale, dolphin, unrich is excellent. So excellent. I appreciate, sir. Thanks.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, Yusuf. That's great. Yeah, this is something that we can have fun with, because sometimes I have prospects calling me up and be like, and they'll say things like, Charles, I have to introduce you to somebody. He's a shark. When can we set up a time to do a three-way call or a three-way video chat? I have a shark for you, or I have a whale for you. That kind of thing. So it can get a little fun, but you see, this is the way for me to also prepare myself mentally. Okay, I know this person is going to be a shark, so I have to really talk about the money, and that's what I'm thinking that needs to be said, right? Or if someone prepares me and says, oh, this person's a dolphin, well, I have to make sure that this person realizes that this is a fun business, that we're inviting them to something very fun. So it's a good way to, like I said, make sure that everyone understands the situation, and it becomes more effective that way. So definitely.
Yeah, I completely agree with you regarding timing. 60 minutes, our presentation sometimes to exceed more than 60 minutes. Yeah, as I saw all the time, your presentation going more valuable and more time consumptions. So as you mentioned, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. Yeah, anyway, so is the way I'm seeing today. I just late joined before 10 minutes ago, so I don't know the first part, but I just saw this Edify your sponsor. I just heard this one, so this give me a lot of confidence how to approach and prospect, and the way. Yes, it's very important to identify what person I want to talk to him, what he wanted. Excellent, sir. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, great, great. Well, I know a few people got on late today, so I'm not going to go over everything, but very quickly, this is what we covered before we went into the edification. We were talking about how to answer objections. And the best way to always answer any objection, doesn't matter what it is, if they tell you, I don't have time, I don't have money, or I don't have any friends, whatever they give you an objection as, it's always best to set up your answer this way. I feel the same way you do. No, excuse me, feel, felt, found, it means that you have to say, I understand how you feel. That's the first part. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way you do. And I found this, but what I found was this, and that's how you answer the objection. And that's very, very effective, because it makes you relatable, and it has somebody kind of let their guard down and be more willing to listen to you, because you've just agreed with them. You didn't contradict them. You weren't being conflictive. You weren't arguing with them. You basically just told them that they were right, but what you found was this. Okay, so that's how you set it up. You set it up as, I understand how you feel. I felt exactly the same way. But what I found was this. What I found was that if I dedicate, consistently, 2 to 5 hours a week, then I was able to sponsor people. I was able to be effective in this business. So that's kind of how you want to set that up. Okay, so I want to move on to the next topic. And for that, I'm going to share my screen, my main screen. So let me see if I can get out of this one. Oh, before I even do that, I wanted to very quickly, let's see, what did I do with that?
Brother Kyle, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, of course, of course.
Okay, bless you, brother. Yeah, again, as usual, your presentation is quite brilliant, and it's on point. And I find how you position things um, beyond words, you're excellent. However, the question I like to ask is a bit of going off topic a bit, and that is, if you were to get somebody who joins the team and say shoots up to say elite performer before yourself, would
Okay.
you expect them to stay? I mean, would you kick them off because right they're ahead of you, or is that down to them if they wish to stay and keep their group within yours? Just out of curiosity.
I'm not sure I'm understanding the question. If they become
Okay, so,
a lead performer
so
before
I,
you, okay.
yeah, so what I'm saying to you is that let's just say that you're a leader, yeah,
Mhm.
and we get somebody that comes in, and then say within a few months or within a
Mhm.
year they become an elite performer. So they've got to the top three,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I got that.
But they're not doing what you're doing in regards to the presentation, the Zoom meetings, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Would you would you expect them to leave and take their group with them, or would you not mind them staying with you, even though they may be how can I call it, higher up the food chain than you, if I can put it that way?
Well, I don't see how it's possible for them to leave. They're below
Okay.
they're below you, so they're always going to be below you. If you have someone who makes it to a higher rank before you do,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's wonderful. That just means that you have a very solid leg that's
All
going
right.
that's always going to make you money. And it is possible because if they're getting to a higher rank
Mm,
before, like, let's say like you mentioned, if you're a leader and they become an elite performer,
yeah.
uh, it is possible that they're going to be making more income than you are,
Okay.
because an elite performer does make more than a leader would. So it is possible that their checks are bigger than yours,
Okay.
But what it's doing is it's securing this one powerful leg for you. So it's going to be very easy for you to catch up, because now you already have a strong leg that has a lot of volume moving through it. So in other words, if let's say okay, I'm just going to throw out names here. let's say Janice, who's watching right now. Let's say Janice is below Charles, right? Charles, you sponsored in Janice, right? And let's say Charles is a leader, but Janice becomes an elite performer. So that's like the highest position, right? So Janice is, her organization is moving at least 600 packs a month. And if she's moving 600 packs, that means that Charles is pretty much moving 600 packs as well because of Janice, right? So you see, probably the hardest part of your job on your way to elite performer is already taken care of by Janice, because she's giving you all this volume. The only thing that you would have to do is create the other required legs, because you need to have 5 legs that are moving at least 60 packs in each of them. So Janice did it before Charles did, right? But that means that it's just going to be easier for Charles to catch up, because the hardest part, which is that 600 pack volume, that's being already accomplished by Janice. So the only thing Charles has to do is start bringing in some other leaders and creating those other legs, just like Janice did. And then the minute he does that, he's going to be not only also getting paid as an elite performer, but again, he's got now all these legs plus Janice's like huge powerful leg. So it's just a positive. It's everybody wins. It's just going to be something that you benefit from. You never get it's never a bad thing when somebody gets to a position faster than you do. That's never, I would never consider that as something negative. It just means that, wow, you've already got a very secure leg.
Okay, brilliant. I just wanted to.
Mhm.
I just wanted to it was a thought that came to my head.
That person never separates from you. Just so you know.
Right.
Once somebody's under you, they're under you for good. So.
All right. Okay. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you for the. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, Charles. Perfect. So very quickly, I do want to go over very quickly the promotion that was launched a few days ago, because there's still a few people that are in the know that this is happening. Now, I want to point out that we've always had something called the top, what is it called? It's a personal best. I'm sorry, that's what it's called. My brain just went blank there for a minute. We've always had something called a personal best badge. That's always existed, okay? It's a badge that you receive. They put it on your back office, right? If you do go to one of the events, they probably will give you an actual pin, because we had an actual personal best badge pin when we went to Las Vegas, right? So this personal badge you earn whenever you bring in 3 personally sponsored people that buy at least 1 pack, right? The 3 personally sponsored active people, and you increase your organizational volume by 500 points. So every month, people are winning this badge. Now, why is this badge important? Well, it's always been helpful when you qualify for certain trips. Like, for example, when you want to go to, like, for example, the trip that's coming up in September of next year. It's the trip to Xcaret, right, in the Riviera Maya in Mexico, which is going to be amazing. Okay, normally to win those types of trips, you have to get to a certain leadership position. In this case, you have to be a leader. You have to be at that 3rd leadership position, but they're going to also require you to have a certain amount of badges, right? So this one counts as one of your badges. Usually it's about like 4 badges that they require you to have in order for you to be qualified for these trips and incentives. So the badges serve their purpose. It's not just, fluff, it's not just, meaningless. It does serve its purpose. Usually, the badges help you qualify for things. So this badge is called the personal best badge. Okay. Now, what the company is doing, and if you haven't already figured it out, we actually went through a name change last week. Last Wednesday, they announced that Go Love Life is now LoveBiome. That's our official name. We are in the transition stage. So the website is still golovelife.com, and it'll be that way until December 1st. On December 1st, the website will turn into lovebiome.com. If you try to go into lovebiome.com right now, you'll be able to get into a website, but it's not going to say anything. It just says something is happening, something is changing, something is coming. I think that's what it says. Something is coming. Okay, so it's just kind of like a little teaser, right? But you know, our website is still golovelife.com until December 1st. That's when everything switches over to lovebiome.com, and all of your personalized websites are going to, you know, automatically switch over to lovebiome.com, right? So, you know, for example, if your website's name is you know, say Charles, right? It's going to go from charles.golovelife.com. It'll automatically switch over to charles.lovebiome.com. And because of this new name change and logo change and image change, which everybody's very excited about, because now our name truly represents what we do, right? We're the microbiome company, right? And we want to incorporate that into our branding, right? So the word biome is very important that it be there, and that's who we are now. We're LoveBiome, and because of this new name change and logo change, we're going to create a new promotion, so you can win these badges, these personal best badges, and you don't have to wait, you know, to earn one per month like normally you would. Okay, this one is a matter of winning the badge, and the minute you win that first badge, and we call the first one the L badge. Okay, the minute you earn that first badge, when you bring in 3 personally sponsored people and you grow by 500 points, then immediately you can start winning the second badge. So you don't have to wait for a new month or a new week or even a new day. Okay, this you can constantly be winning over and over and over again. So the first time you win a personal best badge, which is the L badge, okay, you're gonna actually win a t-shirt with the new LoveBiome logo on it. Okay, the second time you win this badge, you're gonna win the O badge, and you're gonna win a water bottle with the new logo, the LoveBiome logo. And the third time you win the badge, you're gonna win the backpack, right? Or tote bag, as they sometimes call it, right? And then the fourth time you win the personal best badge. So remember, every time you bring in 3 new people and increase by 500 points, that's how you win a new badge. So the fourth time you're going to start winning now $100 cash on top of your regular commissions. Okay, now this is all going to happen. Let me just backtrack for a little bit. It's going to happen from October 20th. So it started already. Started last week until January 31st. So you have the next 3 months to earn these badges. And again, you don't have to wait until the month is over to win the next one, or the week is over, or even the day. You just win these, like you qualify for personal best badges one after the other, after the other, after the other. So like, let's say that, and by the way, there's 9 badges, right? So it spells out the word LoveBiome. So let's say that in your first week, you win this one, the L one, and then your next week you win the O one, and then the third week you win you know, the third one. But then you win all of these like back to back, you know what I'm saying? Like it's possible to win all of them in 1 month. Okay, you would have to bring in 3 new people every time you win a badge, so that's 3 times 9 badges. That's 27 people that you personally sponsor. But yes, it's possible to win all the badges, you know, even in one given month. And then once you've complete all of the badges, you can start all over again. Okay, you still can earn the L badge all over again, the O badge all over again, the V badge all over again. You have until January 31st to continue these winning these badges. So again, getting back to the prizes, the L is the t-shirt, the O, the second one is the water bottle, the third one is the tote bag. Starting on the 4th badge, you will win a $100 cash. That's starting on the 4th one. The 5th one, you also win $100. The 6th one, you also win $100. The 7th one, you also win $100. The 8th one, you also win $100. And the 9th one, $100. So it's possible to get all $600, okay, plus the 3, you know, merchandise articles, you know, when you go through the round. But then you can continue going through the round again. So let's say you win the 9th badge, and we're still in, let's say, December, okay? you win the 9th badge and you're still in December. There's still you know, a lot of time to keep up with the promotion. So you can go back and do the L1 again, and then the O again, and the V, so you can win the articles again, and then you can keep winning more cash. Okay, so it's possible to make like $600 a month if you really wanted to you know, build that way. But I got to tell you, you know, you have to understand that this is a promotion to really build off the excitement of the fact that we have a new name now, you know, and it doesn't really, you know, the new name doesn't change anything. We're still, the formulas are still exactly the same. All our products are the same. All the information, the comp plan, everything is still exactly the same. It's just a name change, but still it's exciting that we're going in this direction. And, you know, it's exciting to be able to call up people and say, hey, listen, remember that company I was telling you about, LoveBiome? Well, now it's even more exciting because we've incorporated the microbiome into our name, because now we are officially the microbiome company. So when people think about, you know, the gut microbiome, they need to think of us. We're going to be the leaders in this microbiome space. You know, we always want to be the company that people think about when they think about gut health, when they think about gut microbiome health. Have them think of LoveBiome, right? So, you know, it's a chance to just feed off of that energy. And I know that when Go Love Life first started back in February, I was so excited. I personally sponsored in over 30 people in my first month. So I know that this is very possible. I'm not expecting people to do anything that I haven't done. I really sponsored a lot of people because I was just excited about this being new. Well, now we're in the end of October and it's also new again, right? Because we have a new name, new logo, new image, new packaging. The new packaging is amazing. It's beautiful. That'll be coming out in the next couple of months. You'll probably see the transition, right? So just feed off this new energy, you know, and start sponsoring in new people. And it's a great way to, like I said, earn extra cash and those beautiful, merchandise articles. Okay, does anybody have any questions on this specific promotion? Okay, is everybody clear on how it works? No questions? Alrighty, okay, no questions. So I'm just gonna move on to the very last topic for today. And for that, I'm gonna share my screen again, but I'm gonna share my main screen. Here we go. And let's see. I want to go into the back office. Okay. So if anybody still doesn't know how to get into their back office, it's really quite simple. You just go into golovelife.com. That's our website. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. That's our website, right? And you want to go right where on the top right corner it says login. Now on the phone, it may be like more towards the center, okay, if you're looking at it on your phone, but this is my laptop, so it's on the top right corner. It says login, you log in, you click login, and it's always going to ask you for your ID number and your password, whatever password you've created, right? And it takes you to your back office. So this is what the back office looks like, right? And we have a new section called Go Tools. Now that's eventually going to change on December 1st. It's going to say LoveBiome Tools, right? But still, it's something that you should all go into. And you could go into it in two ways. You can click on the image where it says Go Tools, or you can go right on top here. There's these green icons that take you to different sections of the back office. You want to click on where it says Go Tools. And once you get into that section, okay, it's going to take you to these video tutorials. And I encourage everybody to start watching all these videos, especially if you're new, especially if you just signed on with our company, because these tutorials are basically teaching you all about our company, our business, our products, our compensation plan. So this is, it's a, you know, they even have a back office training, which is going to be very important because so as you can see, I haven't actually started watching these videos. I'm guilty as charged. I actually just saw the first one, but one thing I want you to notice is that they all have little locks on them. So you can't watch any of the others until you watch the first ones, right? You have to do them in order. So I just watched this first one. Okay, so now it'll unlock the second one. So this way you watch them in order. But it's a great thing, especially for new people that, really don't know much about how the compensation plan works or how the products really work. You know, it's a great training for them, and I think everybody needs to take all of the training videos seriously, including myself. I promise I'll get to eventually all of them, but yeah, we should all definitely go through this onboarding. It's called an onboarding training, and not only will it help you and help your affiliates, but it's important for us to be all doing the same things. This way we're showing people that there's a very systematic way of doing business here with our company LoveBiome. So let's lead by example. Let's get these videos watched, and by the time you finish all of the videos, guess what? You get another badge. They actually give you another badge, and again, these badges are important so that you qualify for trips and things like that. So if you want to know which badges you've won and which ones you haven't won, or which ones you need, it's always on the top right corner here. So you can see I've already won about 7 badges for different reasons, right? But when you finish the onboarding, it unlocks this one. It the well, it unlocks the badge that you get for the onboarding. Yeah, it's not necessarily that one. That one says start performer, but you'll get a badge for watching all the videos. Okay, so that's really what it's about. It's about collecting these badges. That means you're progressing in the company. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, but does anybody have any questions before we finish today? Katrina, how are you?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening.
On the videos on the back office, once
Yep.
you have been through them all and have watched them all,
Good.
and there's a video that you're not completely sure on, can you backtrack? Do you have to unlock them all again to get to the one you want again,
I don't
or do
think
they
so.
stay unlocked?
Yeah, I think they stay unlocked once you finish them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think so.
No problem.
I mean, the one I watched is unlocked. I could watch it over and over again. that one that I watched.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That if there's a part of it that you're going, what
Mhm.
was that again?
Yeah.
Can I go back in there again and take another look at it? Or
Oh, yeah.
even if you're interrupted by somebody knocking the door down, looking a bottle of noni.
Oh no, I'm sure you can. I mean, that's the way it's set up so that you could always go back and refer. It's a reference. It's like your little training course that you could always go back and refer to.
Right, no problem.
Sure,
Nice
sure.
one.
Fantastic.
Shush you, nobody's asking you.
Good question, Katrina. Excellent. Does anybody else have any questions about anything? It doesn't have to be necessarily about what we covered. I mean, this is a chance for you to communicate with me directly, if you have any questions. Alrighty.
Hi, it's Janice.
Janice. Hi, Janice. Good to see you.
It's good to see you. It's I don't get to go on very often, as often as I like, but every time I come on, you're quite thorough in your presentation. So I just want to thank you for that. And that's probably why you're not getting any responses from anyone, because we all are quite full. We've gotten what we needed. So thank you again.
Okay, that's good to know, Janice. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I want to make sure that everyone gets to their goals. So just go ahead and feel free to, use me as your expert, as we just, showed today in this edification, training. And let's get it done. Let's start bringing in more people. I want to see everybody really grow quickly, because again, I just want to remind everybody that we're in our first year, and it's exciting to be involved in a company so great as ours, with so much potential in its first year. But that first year is going to be over soon, and it's not going to be it's just not going to be the same in going on into the future. You know, that little window of opportunity of saying, hey, we got in and we did so much in the very first year of the company. You know, this is the time to really take advantage of growing your business, because I can assure you at some point you're going to start seeing a lot of LoveBiome representatives, you know, affiliates in your neighborhood. That's going to happen. I remember when I first started with Tahitian Noni. Oh my goodness, this was a long time ago. At the end of 1997, I signed up with the Tahitian Noni company. This was Kelly Olson's original company, right? And I remember being like the very first person in all of New York City who was talking about noni. Everybody thought I was crazy. I remember going to work and talking about this noni juice, and everybody was like, "Are you nuts? Have you lost your mind? You know, what are you talking? What are you pushing? What are what are you selling?" You know, so it was so new. But then eventually people started catching on, and they started trying the product, and they liked it, and you know, before you know it, it was really you know, something that was special. You know, people were really getting great results, and I felt very what's the word? Just very special in the sense that I was doing something very unique, right? Nobody else was doing what I was doing. But you know what? After about a year of me promoting Tahitian noni juice, all of a sudden I started seeing other people promoting Tahitian noni juice. All of a sudden, like all over New York City, there were all these representatives of the company, and they weren't in my group. They were coming from other groups. They were coming from other organizations. And I was like, wow, look at what's going on. All of a sudden it became very, very, very popular. And all of a sudden I felt like, wow, I'm not exclusive anymore. Now there's all these organizations coming out of, well, they were growing in New York, but they were coming from different, you know, cities and different countries, right? Because people, you know, all over the place started, you know, focusing on New York as their market. So, you know, it was exciting to see the company grow, but at the same time, I lost that exclusivity. I wasn't alone anymore. Now there were all these people doing the same thing that I was doing. So it felt almost like, wow, all of a sudden, like I had competition, right? So, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen with LoveBiome as well. You're going to start seeing more and more people in London representing the company, a lot more people in Ireland, in Budapest, in New York, in Bangkok, right? You're going to see a lot of other organizations being formed. That's and that's what I want people to realize, that this exclusivity is very temporary. You have to take advantage of it now. You have to make sure that you build strong, so that when all these other organizations start popping up in your backyard, you know, you can say that, oh, you got in very early, and that's why you have the strongest organization, because you got a head start. But it all depends on how much you take advantage of that window of opportunity to be a pioneer. So I'm hoping that people, you know, you could just give this a sense of urgency, because that's what it requires in order for you to be ahead of the game and ahead of everybody else. Because believe me, this company will be everywhere at some point, and we're the privileged few right now that got in at the very beginning. So let's all take advantage of it. Let's get to where we need to get to, and count on me to help you grow. Okay. So thank you so much for being present today. We've covered a lot, and I wish everybody the best success. God bless you, everybody. And I'll see you on Saturday, hopefully, with some guests, right? Saturday is the presentation. So invite your guests. Take care. Bye-bye.